some popular pickups. Here's WWJ's Jeff Gilbert.
The recall only involving the big trucks, Ram heavy-duty pickups, and chassis cabs from the 2013 through 17 model years. There have been at least 8 crashes after the driver lost control of the steering. One person has been hurt. The problem's been traced to a single nut that can come loose.
Mazda is recalling late-model Miatas because of an electrical problem with automatic transmissions. S&P futures down 3. This is CBS News.
You have enough things to worry about every day. Insurance shouldn't be one of them. You can leave worry behind when Liberty stands with you. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
You know when you have about a billion things to do today, and then you realize you're out of whatever it is that you really need, and next day shipping isn't going to cut it because you really need it in like an hour. Yeah, that's when you turn to Office Depot Office Max. Buy what you need online at OfficeDepot.com or on our app and pick it up in store for free in just 1 hour so you can get back to whatever else is lurking on your to-do list. And now save big at the Buy 2, Get 1 free event. That's Buy 2, Get 1 free at Office Depot Office Max. Offer expires February 9th, 2019.
This Valentine's Day, Edible Arrangements wants to remind you that simple gestures of love often result in the purest forms of joy. Show you care with a box of fresh strawberries that are hand-dipped in smooth, delectable chocolate, or with one of our signature arrangements, crafted locally by our fruit experts each and every day. So whether it's for your special someone or all of your special someones, when you feel love, share love. Visit your local Edible store or edible.com to order today. Available for pickup or delivery.
Share love.
It's official. The Academy Awards will be hostless.
The Motion Picture Academy has made its decision on a host for this year's Oscars. There won't be a host. The Academy originally named comedian Kevin Hart to host the show, but he withdrew after some previous anti-gay comments made by Hart came to light. The only other time the Oscars have taken place without a host was 1989. Steve Futterman, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Tiffany Trump's State of the Union dress is sparking buzz on social media. The president's youngest daughter appeared to be supporting Democratic congresswomen who wore white last night, the color of the suffragettes, as a symbol of the fight for women's rights. 25-year-old Ms. Trump did not sit with her half-sister Ivanka or her stepmother, the First Lady, who both wore dark gowns. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
It's time to join the millions of people using Zoom video conferencing. Turn any size conference room, huddle room, or executive office into a Zoom room with flawless HD video, crystal clear audio, and instant wireless sharing. It'll even work with your existing hardware. Start your meetings with a single touch or use Zoom's new voice command feature. Hey Zoom, start meeting. Huddle happy. Visit zoom.us to set up your free Zoom room trial today. That's zoom.us. Zoom video conferencing.
I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's premier home purchase lender. We've created a new way to protect you from unpredictable interest rates. Our exclusive Rate Shield approval. First, we lock your interest rate for up to 90 days. Then, if rates go up, your rate stays locked. But if rates go down, your rate drops. Either way, you win. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030. Additional conditions or exclusions may apply.
Experience no-hassle shopping at Ford's Furniture in Bowling Green and Glasgow. Ford's Furniture. Furniture you know. People you trust.
You may already know about the EPB's Roundup program, where you can round your electric bill up to the nearest dollar, and that money goes to community relief to help those who are less fortunate pay their electric bill. You can now increase the charitable amount you add to your EPB bill to any amount you choose, $1, $2, $5, $10, or even more. Say your electric bill is $94.14 and you want to round it up by $5. Your bill would actually be $100. To make your change to your EPB bill, contact the Glasgow EPB.
BG Tire is way more than just tires. They are your full-service tire and automotive center. They offer pickup and drop-off service to your home or business to save your precious time. Alignments, oil changes, brake work. BG Tire does it all, including emergency roadside assistance 24 hours a day. Put your faith in the company Bowling Green has trusted for 4 generations. BG Tire, 1046 Lovers Lane, Bowling Green, across from BG Home Furnishings.
You know
you can depend on WCLU for local news on the air, online, on demand at WCLUradio.com.
Good morning, everybody. It is 6:07, and we are at 64 degrees already. And I'm fixing my title right here if you're watching on Channel 6, even though Henry is my first name. We're going to have to get that fixed, right? Well, we're doing it right now here. And we'll get that fixed here in just a moment. Let's go ahead and check in with Ray Stajic from the Weather Channel. Ray has an interesting forecast for you. We're going to go from 73 to 35 in a real big hurry. Check it out, Ray.
Springtime showers, even a few thunderstorms in the forecast, and some steady rain. Some of us under flash flood watches. Temperatures are absolutely ridiculous this morning. Average lows should be in the upper 20s. Take a look at the car thermometer. Some 5s, some 6s. Yeah, very mild morning and a very mild afternoon. Even milder by tomorrow. And then much colder, sharply colder by Friday. So don't put away those winter jackets just yet. Remember, it's only early February. Let's go 66 this afternoon. A few showers, maybe a thunderstorm this morning, then some steady rain this afternoon with some locally heavy downpours, an inch or two of rain in some spots. And those under the flash flood watch means that we could see some ponding of the water on the roadways and maybe some flooding in some spots. Showers and thunderstorms are likely tonight, 61. Thunderstorms are likely tomorrow, gusty southwest breeze, 70 degrees, but then the front rips through. And by Friday morning, the low temperatures are going to be in the low 20s. Sunny and mid-30s for Friday afternoon. Low and mid-40s with a chance of rain again by the tail end of the weekend. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. And taking a look at the constant coverage in-studio radar screen, as you can see, we are surrounded by a massive, massive sail of rain and severe rain at that. That's why we could see some thunderstorm activity. But closer to us here in downtown Glasgow, we're seeing some scattered showers around and a little bit of drizzle, as you can check out the roof cam there at downtown Glasgow. The current conditions, well, we're at 29.92 on the barometer. Winds are south, gusting up to 10 miles an hour. Humidity's at 96%. And we have had 0.12 of an inch of rain thus far in the rain gauge over the last 24 hours. So that's what we have so far. Now, let's talk about birthdays, shall we? We've got several folks to honor. We want to get that started right now. We want to say happy birthday to Wayne Van Dyke. Wayne Van Dyke is 54 years young today. Also, we're going to have Michael Harris. Michael Harris turning 22 today. How about that, Michael? Enjoy your day, sir. Also, we've got Barrett Depp turning 5. We have Mary D. Carter turning 100 today. That's right, Mary D. Carter's 100 today. So if you see her, be sure you pat her on the back, tell her she's good as gold from her friends at WCLU and a little taste of Texas. We got Nadine Shirley on the list. Sheila Glover is 59 today. She was good as gold yesterday. She'll be in that little taste of Texas drawing as well. Nadine Shirley on the list. We've got Robert Whitty. Lillian Adair is 14 today. Happy birthday to Janet Rogan. Michelle Copus has a birthday, and Orita Rhodes rounding out the birthday list. That's Orita Rhodes. Coming up next, it is the live and local news you depend on at 6 o'clock, right after a word from our sponsors here on WCLU.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
TJ Sampson, providing TLC, Total Local Care, 24/7. My husband and I were both admitted to TJ Sampson. They were so good to us, and we will always go back to TJ, your local healthcare provider. Total Local Care, 24/7.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parrish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50-plus years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parish Carpet.
Who will be the future face of Pettigo Lessenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley. And I'm Daniel Bird. And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Growing with a proud community since 1902.
Lessenberry.
For WCLU Local News, I am Wes Royce reporting. A Glasgow woman was arrested after telling police she thought someone had shot at her, followed her, and bugged her house. After officers noted she was intoxicated, they did place her under arrest. The call was responded to at TJ Sampson ER because that's where Melissa A. Jewell, age 37 of Glasgow, went to call the police and tell them she was being followed. She said she previously believed she'd been shot at. Then she went to Little Caesars to get food, and that's when she believed that same individual was following her. Once that arrest was made, Jewell handed them a baggie that contained either bath salts or meth. Jewell was charged with possession of a controlled substance first degree and public intoxication. Yesterday, the Warren County Sheriff's Office responded to a single vehicle collision. Deputies located a 2001 Toyota in a field in the 3700 block of Richardsville Road. The driver, 32-year-old Kevin Massey of Franklin, stated he entered a sharp curve and began hydroplaning, exited the roadway, and ran through a wire fence before coming to a final rest in the field. Massey was wearing a seatbelt at the time of the collision. He was transported by EMS for non-life-threatening injuries sustained in the collision. Massey was cited for operating on a suspended license, expired registration, and no insurance. Deputies were assisted by the Richardsville Volunteer Fire Department. Also on Monday, Scottsville Police Department received a complaint from a female who resides in Bowling Green. The victim said she received a call from the Scottsville Police Department's non-emergency number. She stated the caller gave the name of a Scottsville police officer and said they had a warrant on file for her, and if she would send cash, they would have the warrant recalled and she would not be arrested. The police imposter then advised her it would be better to obtain 3 gift cards valued at $500 each. The imposter stayed on the phone until the female victim drove to Scottsville and obtained the gift cards. The police imposter then had to scratch off the card and give him the redeeming number on the back of it. Then they asked her to mail it to 1500 Pennsylvania Avenue after approximately having her on the phone for 2 hours. The elderly victim followed the instructions and then called the number back. After the police imposter ended the call, of course, she got the Scottsville Police Department, who broke the news to her that it was a scam. Officers were able to get the gift card stopped, and she will be receiving a refund that could take up to 30 days. Scottsville Police Department warns that they will never call you and ask for money if they have a warrant for your arrest. Never give any personal information out over the phone. Kentucky's estimated unfunded liability for its retirement systems make up nearly 80% of the Commonwealth's total debt for fiscal year 2018. That's according to a new data bulletin on debt service released yesterday by State Auditor Mike Harmon's office. Of the $54.6 billion in total debt Kentucky had during the fiscal year of 2018, an estimated $43.3 billion of that was due to the unfunded pension and other post-employment benefit liabilities. The $54.6 billion in total debt equates to a burden of nearly $12,000 for every person in Kentucky. Of the $9 billion in the bonded debt and appropriation-supported debt, Auditor Harmon found the largest amounts of debt are with the State Properties and Building Commission, which has $3.85 billion in outstanding bonds for capital construction projects and financing projects approved by the General Assembly, and also $1.81 billion in appropriation-supported debt to Kentucky's public universities. State Auditor Mike Harmon's office found that while the majority of state agencies must either have approval from the General Assembly to issue bonds or are capped at certain amounts in issuing bonds, the Kentucky Economic Development Finance Authority, or KEDFA, has no limits on the amount of bonded debt it can issue, nor is the KEDFA required to obtain legislative approval before issuing conduit bonds. The entire data bulletin, titled An Examination of the Outstanding Debt and Debt Service of the Commonwealth, is available for review on the auditor's website. More local news when we continue. Here on WCLU, right now 617 and 64 degrees.
Do It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lesenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lesenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Extreme Prosthetics understands that when it comes to comfort and function, not all prosthetic devices are made the same. A properly fitted prosthesis can allow you to walk naturally without daily pain and discomfort. Extreme Prosthetics works with your physician and insurance company to help you get the comfort and function you deserve. Don't let your current discomfort and lack of mobility discourage you. Call the experts at Extreme Prosthetics today for a better, more comfortable life.
Check out the great deals at Gilead Auto Group in Glasgow.
Stretch your hard-earned tax refund further during Gilead's Tax Time Sale-a-thon. Save big on over 450 pre-owned vehicles, starting at $25.
To resume this year's legislative session. After a nearly month-long break, lawmakers have reconvened. Osborne told a business group that the General Assembly ultimately will find a solution that meets the policy, political, and legal tests surrounding the complex problem, but he bluntly downplayed prospects for a quick breakthrough on an issue that overshadowed last year's legislative session.
I do believe that there will be a meaningful product that comes out of it. I'm not ready to put a timeline on that yet or estimate when that might happen, but I believe that they take this charge very seriously and will ultimately come up with something that we can build some consensus around.
The Supreme Court of Kentucky will convene February 7th and 8th in Frankfort to hear oral arguments in cases that originated in Jefferson and Knott counties and a challenge to a court ruling on Marsy's Law. Proceedings are open to the public and will take place in the Supreme Court courtroom on the second floor of the state capitol at 700 Capitol Avenue in Frankfort. You can also watch those arguments at the Kentucky Court of Justice website. That will be a live stream only and not available for archives. The Glasgow Fire Department received a grant from the Leary Firefighters Foundation. The Leary Firefighters Foundation was established by actor Dennis Leary in the spring of 2000. This was in response to help his hometown deal with an overwhelming loss. On December 3, 1999, the town of Worcester, Massachusetts, lost 6 firefighters in an abandoned warehouse fire. One of the firefighters was Jerry Lucy, a cousin to Mr. Leary, and another was Lieutenant Tommy Spencer, who was a childhood friend and high school classmate to Mr. Leary. The Leary Firefighters Foundation is dedicated to helping fire departments in acquiring the equipment, technology, and training to better serve their communities. With the grant from the Leary Firefighters Foundation, the Glasgow Fire Department was able to purchase a Lion digital fire attack system. The cost of the equipment was $25,758, which was fully funded by the Leary Firefighters Foundation. The system contains 2 fire attack panels and a weighted bases, a smoke generator, a weighted hose line, and a digital nozzle. The addition of this equipment will allow the Glasgow Fire Department more and safer training opportunities. This system allows firefighters to train in a simulated live fire scenario without the dangers of an actual live fire. The digital nozzle and weighted hose line will allow the firefighters to train in more buildings throughout the city without the concern of causing water damage to the building. The firefighters are limited to where they can have a live fire in the training tower, but with this equipment they will not have those limitations. The department is also hoping this will allow them to do more trainings in some of the buildings around the city that are vacant or are to be demolished as well. For WCLU Local News, I'm Wes Royce.
This is Melina Hughes with this week's Trojan Report. Cinderella Closet applications are now available in the front office for juniors and seniors. Please complete the application and give it to Miss Moore in the Youth Service Center. Student drivers, just a reminder, a parking pass is required to park at school. Administrators will be checking the parking lot soon. See Miss Bryant to purchase a parking tag. You are not allowed to drive to school without a tag. Students traveling on the Europe at Leisure trip this coming summer are reminded about the mandatory trip meeting on Tuesday, February 12th. The meeting will be held at 5:30 p.m. in room 17. It is essential that each traveler attend as we will be discussing important details about the trip. FCA will be hosting Courts for Christ on Wednesday, February 13th to share with fellow students in small group activities and student-led worship. All youth groups that meet on Wednesday nights are encouraged to move their gatherings to Trojan Gym on Wednesday night, February 13th at 6:30 in the 3rd annual Courts for Christ. Track practice begins Monday, February 11th. All participants must have a KHSAA sports physical to participate. For more information, see Coach Metzger in the library. Prom is May 4th. The junior class is selling candy bars to raise money for prom. Earn a free ticket by selling 2 boxes of chocolate. See Miss Harris in room 25 in the science hall for more information. Congratulations to the girls and boys freshman basketball teams. They both won the 15th District Freshman Tournaments on Saturday. On your sports calendar, Friday, the Trojan and Trojanette basketball teams host Cumberland County, and the swim teams compete in Region 2 swimming at Owensboro. The bowling team competes in the state bowling tournament in Louisville. Next Tuesday night, the Trojan and Trojanette basketball teams are at Metcalfe County. For a daily rundown on what's happening at BCHS, tune into our daily student radio broadcast each morning around 7:30 and each afternoon around 3 p.m. on our high school radio station, Trojan Radio 88.7 FM, and online at BaronSchools.com. That's this week's Trojan Report from Barron County High, where opportunity creates success. We are BC.
From the Kentucky News Network, I'm Jaleesa Chatman. Kentucky lawmakers are responding to President Trump's 2019 State of the Union address. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell called the speech great, adding, quote, "The tax cut that we passed clearly had a positive impact. The lowest unemployment in 50 years. America has much to be happy about." While Representative John Yarmouth said the president disrupts the unity between the American people, quote, "with every statement, act, and tweet." Governor Bevin has spoken with representatives from the Poor People's Campaign after the group showed up at his office and forced him to listen.
The Poor People's Campaign showed up at the governor's office in opposition to an executive order filed last month that requires large groups to obtain a permit to protest at least 10 days in advance. Reverend Esther Holbert is with the campaign and told fellow protesters,
he said it is to, get this, protect the health, safety, and welfare of visiting members of the public as well as staff.
No.
And I ask you, do we pose a threat?
No.
The Attorney General's office is reviewing the order. I'm Haley Hansen.
5 new plaintiffs join a lawsuit for the rights of felons to vote in Kentucky. Robert Langdon tells WLKY he and his fellow plaintiffs have served their time and deserve to be reintegrated into society.
I think to condemn someone for life when a judge and a jury didn't give them a life sentence is just something we need to look at and get changed.
The lawsuit states that arbitrary procedure violates the U.S. Constitution. And 2 Tennessee double murder suspects were captured in Kentucky. Alexander Hamilton and Joseph Clark were captured with a woman in Adair County. The 2 are wanted for a double murder that happened in Kingsport, Tennessee on Monday. Adair County authorities say the woman with the suspects was also arrested. I'm Jaleesa Chatman.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Let's turn to local sports. In high school basketball action last night, it was the Glasgow Scotties defeating Metcalfe County 66-58. In overtime, Barron County defeats Russell County 58-47. It was Campbellsville big over Caverna 79-62, and Monroe County gets the edge over Cumberland County 81-70. In another overtime affair, it was Allen County Scottsville with a 2-point victory over Edmondson County 55-53. South Warren defeats Warren East 71-59. Also in overtime, Greenwood beats Logan County 44-43, and Warren Central big over Russellville 82-43. Owensboro defeats the Bowling Green Purples 73-65, and it's Franklin Simpson in a low-scoring affair 39-35 over Butler County. In girls basketball action last night, the Lady Scotties fall to Metcalfe County 68-62. Barron County Trojanettes defeat Russell County 68-49. Campbellsville defeats Caverna 53-40, and it was Monroe County over Cumberland County 65-50. Taylor County defeats Clinton County 54-47, and it's South Warren over Warren East 71-58. In another low-scoring affair, Warren Central gets a 3-point victory over Todd Central 44-41, and Russellville defeats University Heights by a score of 47-32. And that's a check of local sports. South Central Kentucky Monuments in Glasgow wants you to know that if you've recently lost a loved one or if you're thinking about a pre-need monument, they're here to make the process as stress-free as possible. With plenty of examples and a multitude of custom options, South Central Kentucky Monuments has the ability to offer you exactly what you want or help steer you in the right direction based on your preferences. Let my friends David, Jerry, and Adam Jesse provide the service and craftsmanship you deserve. To learn more, visit southcentralkymonuments.com. WCLU News Time is 6:26. It is 64 degrees in downtown Glasgow. In area funeral announcements at this hour, Sue Ann Hurt, age 72 of Glasgow, passed away yesterday. Funeral arrangements are incomplete at this time, but will be under the direction of the A.F. Crowan of the Mertry Funeral Home. Edgar Evan Sproul Jr., 69 of Tompkinsville, passed away Tuesday at his home. Edgar was born in Barron County, a son of Virginia Dyer Sproul of Tompkinsville and the late Edgar Evan Sproul Sr. On March the 10th, 1973, he was united in marriage to Linda Biggerstaff at Tompkinsville Church of Christ by brother Darrell Beard. He worked at South Central Bank in Tompkinsville from January of 1972 to his retirement in January of 2016. Edgar is survived by his wife, Linda Sproul, a daughter, Melanie Miller, a son and daughter-in-law, Jeff and Jessica Sproul, his mother, Virginia Dyer Sproul, all of Tompkinsville, 2 grandchildren, Maggie Miller and Zoe Sproul, and a brother, Roger Neal Sproul of Moss, Tennessee. Funeral services for Edgar Evan Sproul Jr. will be Thursday at 2 p.m. at the Yoakley Tribble Funeral Home with burial in the Monroe County Memorial Lawn. Visitation will be today from 2 to 8 p.m. and Thursday from 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. at Yoakley Tribble Funeral Home. Genevieve Finch, 91 of Bonneville, passed away Monday at her home. Mrs. Finch was a member of the Cane Run Baptist Church. She is survived by 2 grandchildren, Stephen Webb and Sarah Johnson of Bonneville, 1 brother, Howard Logston and Clarkson, 5 great-grandchildren, Justin and Paige Webb, Joshua Johnson, Rachel Eisenberg, and Laura Day, 5 great-great-grandchildren, Letty and Leyland Day, Sasser, William, and Ryland King. Funeral services for Genevieve Finch will be at 1 p.m. Saturday in the chapel of Seago Funeral Home with burial in the Smith Cemetery. Visitation will be Friday from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. and after 8 a.m. Saturday at Seago Funeral Home. Zora Jane Decker, age 88 of Park City, passed away Monday at the Medical Center at Caverna in Horse Cave. She was a homemaker and worked on the farm and was a member of Little Flock Missionary Baptist Church. She enjoyed her family in making white oak baskets. She is survived by 2 daughters, Ann Childress and husband Danny, and Benita Childress and husband Mike, all of Park City. 2 sons, Steve Decker and wife Katrina of Bonneville, Randall Decker and wife Leona of Park City. 12 grandchildren, several great-grandchildren, and several great-great-grandchildren also survive. Funeral services for Zora Jane Decker will be held at 1 p.m. on Friday at the Little Flock Missionary Baptist Church with interment in the Little Flock Cemetery. The family will receive friends from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. Thursday at Brooks Funeral Home and from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. Friday at the church. Elizabeth Faye Miller, 59 of Anderson, Indiana, passed away Saturday. She graduated from Metcalfe County High School in 1977, and she was a driver for Carter Express Incorporated. Her passion in life was spending time with her family, especially her grandchildren. Elizabeth Faye is survived by her loving husband of 12 years, Theo Wayne Miller Sr., children Corey Stevens of Edmonton, Robert Bowman of Edmonton, and Quilla Thompson of Anderson, Indiana, grandchildren Jocelyn Eldridge, Destiny and Hodge Stevens, and Wesley and Donna Bowman. Also surviving are her siblings Lynn Stevens of Glasgow, Mark Stevens of Edmonton, Sherry Stevens, and Melanie Ambergy of Edmonton. Funeral services for Elizabeth Faye Miller will be at 1 p.m. on Saturday at Butler Funeral Home, burial to be in the Smith Cemetery in Knob Lick. Visitation will be from 11 a.m. until the time of service on Saturday at the Butler Funeral Home in Edmonton. Memorial contributions can be made to the ASPCA. Funeral services for Doris G. Adams, 85 of Elizabethtown, will be at 10 a.m. Thursday in the chapel of Wynn Funeral Home in Horse Cave. Burial to follow in the Horse Cave Municipal Cemetery. Visitation will be today from 4 to 8 p.m. and continue tomorrow from 8 a.m. until time of service. Expressions of sympathy may take the form of gifts to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Funeral services for James Jim Bowman, 95 of Munfordville, will be at 11 a.m. Thursday in the chapel of Seago Funeral Home, burial in the Munfordville Municipal Cemetery. Visitation will be today from 4 to 8 p.m. and after 8 a.m. Thursday. Funeral services for William Bill York, 69 of Glasgow, will be at 2 p.m. Thursday at the A.F. Crow & Son Funeral Home with burial in the Glasgow Municipal Cemetery. Visitation will be today from 2 to 8 p.m. and on Thursday until time of service at the funeral home. Funeral services for Preston Norris, 84 of Glasgow, will be at 2 p.m. today at the Strode Funeral Home in Tompkinsville, with burial to follow in the Monroe County Memorial Lawn. Memorials are suggested to the American Cancer Society. Funeral services for Marianne Phillip Harris, age 58 of Glasgow, will be at 2 p.m. today at the Goad Funeral Home, with burial in the Allen County Memorial Gardens. Funeral services for Wanda Gay Smith, 69 of Tompkinsville, will be at the Red Hill Holiness Church today at 11 a.m. with burial in the Bailey Cemetery. Donations are suggested for funeral expenses. Yoakley Tribble Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Funeral services for James Carmen Tubby Kilman, age 79 of Summershade, will be at 11 a.m. today at the Yoakley Tribble Funeral Home with burial in the Union No. 2 Cemetery. Donations are suggested to the Corsair Children's Hospital. Obituary information is available 24 hours a day online at WCLUradio.com. No login is necessary.
Check out the great deals at Gilead Auto Group in Glasgow.
Stretch your hard-earned tax refund further during Gilead's Tax Time Sale-a-thon. Save big on over 450 pre-owned vehicles, starting at $2,500 up to like-new 2018 models. Plus, we have over 100 vehicles priced below $9,900. We work with over 20 lenders to get you the vehicle you need and deserve, no matter your credit situation.
If car shopping makes you nervous, come to the home of legendary service.
Citizens First. Hi, I'm Dana Chapman, branch manager at our Glasgow Southgate branch. We have a checking account at Citizens First that earns you real interest on your money, more than most CDs. Our Platinum Plus checking account. Our staff makes moving your account to Citizens First simple and seamless by helping you through the process. We're committed to a brighter future for both you and our community. Citizens First, the best choice for the best checking accounts. Stop by today to open your Platinum Plus account. Member FDIC.
All right, it's 6:33, 64 degrees. Let's take a look at our weather forecast from the Weather Channel. Here's Ray Stajic.
Springtime showers, even a few thunderstorms in the forecast, and some steady rain, some of us under flash flood watches. Let's go 66 this afternoon. A few showers, maybe a thunderstorm this morning, then some steady rain this afternoon with some locally heavy downpours, an inch or two of rain in some spots. Showers and thunderstorms are likely tonight, 61. Thunderstorms are likely tomorrow, gusty southwest breeze, 70 degrees, but then the front rips through, and by Friday morning, the low temperatures are going to be in the low 20s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. Let's take a look at our current conditions, Jeff.
Okay, Wes,
Let me turn your mic on here. All right, go ahead, Jeff.
All right, we have current conditions. The humidity is 96%. Winds south gusting up to 10 miles per hour. Rainfall is 12 inches in the last 24 hours.
Point 12
in the last 24 hours. And we have a barometer of 29.92.
I'm afraid if we had 12 inches of rain, we would be in trouble.
We'd be floating out of here, Wes.
Ladies and gentlemen, my guest host here on Good Morning Live today is Jeff Jobe of Jobe Publishing. Jeff recently celebrated 21 years. Is that correct?
That is correct. 21 years.
21 years of ownership in the newspaper business.
Community newspapers. We bought our first newspaper in 1998 in Butler County, Kentucky.
Wow. Didn't seem like that would have been 20 years ago. That just makes me feel old.
We are old.
But that's all right. That's great. So I want to be sure and hope everybody has a wonderful day today, as Jeff's going to sit in with me for this morning, and we'll be doing a lot of cool things. I want to go back to late October. Jeff.
Okay.
And there was this idea of a community political forum.
Yes.
And so they basically, Chrissy Fields knows how to do this. She got everybody in a room.
She did it.
She had the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. She had you and I, and she had representatives from the Daily Times and Commonwealth Broadcasting. And somehow, some way, I thought it was just very fair. I thought it was very unbiased, and I think the whole thing came together. So you and I got to spend some time together and come up with the questions that could be drawn to be asked.
We did.
I enjoyed that process. Did you?
I did. Actually, Wes, it was the first time I'd seen anything like that, and you know, I've been in Glasgow area since 2003, and for someone to reach out and actually have us to come together for the good of the community, it was just a tremendous feeling. And I know, as you do, that we took it serious.
Yes.
You know, James and Daniel, we got together and we sat down. We worked out questions. We went to our audiences. We figured out the questions. We came in and we agreed on those questions. Mm-hmm. And I think the community is better for it today. And I think things like that, if we could work together to do some good things like that, I think it would be a tremendous asset to our region.
I believe that it is amazing that that we have the media representation that we do here. Our voters are informed. There's no doubt about that. From live streaming government meetings to two newspapers there to report on that. I just think it's great that we inform our community. So I'll flip to that. we do have two newspapers, and of course I know you guys have a case coming up that you're going to try, and I know you can't really say a lot because of that, but basically you're claiming that you are the paper of record. First of all, tell people what paper of record means.
It's simply a term that is used. It's the newspaper with the highest paid circulation, Wes, and it's something that in the newspaper business we strive. We push our paid readership. There are a classification that's really simple. Certain things that we can do in order to consider a newspaper a paid subscriber. Just last night, someone on social media posted a note that they would have loved to read the Barron County Progress, but they can't afford it. You know, Wes, I'd love to just say, hey, I'll send you one right over, and honestly, a big part of me wants to do that, but I've got to be real careful, because if I don't document that accurately, then it could be used to hurt us. So
absolutely.
So we set everything up as paid circulation, and in the past decade, it's just the readership trend. I don't think it's a lot of personal things. I really don't. I'm not going to take credit for a lot of stuff other than to say that we've been consistent, and we've done our best to hold our numbers and grow our numbers. We've grown in 10 years or so. We've went from 2,600 to 4,400, and in about the same 10 years, this is coming straight off audit reports.
Right.
Other newspaper, the Glasgow Daily Times, has went from I think 14,000 or 12,000 or something like that to 3,900, and again, you took me by surprise on this question, Wes. You know, it's not personal. It's just a thing it's just where we are, and I'm very proud of where we are. At the same time, it's not about them; it's about us, and I'm very proud of the Jobe Publishing team and what we're doing.
And you guys do a wonderful job. I think that's what maybe people don't realize, the value of the information that you and I distribute. It takes people to do that.
It does, and it's local. And one of the things I spoke at a meeting a couple weeks ago, you don't think about it. When you and I say something, we write about something, there's a good chance when I walk out of this building today and I walk over to have coffee, if I say something, I'll bump into the three people that I say something about. I'll bump into them on the way over there.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to know what you're saying and say it with dignity and be able to stand by it, because we have to live in this. We have to live in this community. We have to have love in our heart and want to do the right thing. And I know that's why I do what I do. Weston, I'm sure that's why you and your family has always done what they do.
And consistency, you know, that's our bread and butter. That's what we try to do too. Of course, Jeff, I do want to mention to you that we're excited to have you here today, because we did have that talk. You know, we did say we should do more things together.
We did.
You know, and Daniel and I said the same thing. We should do more things together. We compete kind of, you know, for advertising, but ultimately we both want the best for our community.
Yeah, I don't know how long Daniel's been here, but I tell you, I really like Daniel, and I really do. And if he's listening, I want him to know I truly enjoyed us sitting and talking.
Yes.
And I'll look forward to working with Daniel and you and James. James was a hoot that day. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I saw a sign of James. You know, I found out, Wes, I found out about your families that day. And so many times in small communities, they try to pit us against each other.
Yeah.
And we're pawns. The media is a pawn, and they use us. You know, some people close to me will come to me and try to get me to do things that may hurt one of their enemies. And I don't have enemies in the newspaper business. I have truth, and I try to do that to the best of my ability. And if we can come together, oh my gosh, just imagine what we could do for our community. If we could agree on things, not necessarily if we could debate and come to resolutions and move forward.
Sure.
And we could help our leaders. Honestly, I think they'd have nowhere to hide if we'd all start kind of listening and paying attention.
That's true.
Then we could, we could put the truth out there, and then they come right along with us, because right now it seems like they run for shelter.
Yeah.
If I'll start reporting something, my gosh, I'll look around and there'll be a feature in the Daily Times about them, or either, you know, so they'll be trying to get an interview or running ads over here or something like that. And it would be nice if we could just let them know that, you know, we're going to put the truth out there. And because we love our community.
Imagine a world where we're like a lot of different, like, let's say there were no local radio station that did news, or there were no local newspapers. You would, like, the trend is you would have an insert into like a larger city's paper with a local flair to it that would have, you know, just Glasgow or just Munfordville or just Hart County, things like that. We don't want that here.
No.
We don't want that here. We feel like Glasgow stands alone, and we don't need to be part of someone else's coverage.
The beautiful thing about local communities, we get pegged as a negative guy or negative person or something of that sort because that's what resonates with people. If you pick up the Barron County Progress or any of Jobe Publishing newspapers today, there will be there'll be 15, 16, 17 pages of pictures of ball games, beauty queens. You know, we put all the pageants in there. We go to the county fairs, and we don't just put the winner of the pageants, which a state newspaper might show up, throw a picture in there of the winner, and we're there. We sit there and we take a picture of every 3-year-old that was in that pageant. That's what we do. That's community news. We do that, and I have seen a trend that what helps me, and it does. I don't know that it necessarily plays out well for some of the breaking news entities, but you know, I'll run it on social media. We'll put a picture in there and say, look for more in this week's Barron County Progress.
Sure.
And they know there's going to be 2 or 3 pages of it. And even if we put them on social media, they'll say, now, when is that going to be in the paper? You know, they want to pick up that copy. So things like that, I've embraced the social media movement and with our online activities, I think, because it complements what we're doing.
It goes back to who's credible, who's not, and it goes back to the people who can stand by what they said and what they've written.
Absolutely.
And so you're going to see a lot of misinformation out there. You're going to see a lot of freelance type stuff out there, but ultimately you can trust your local media outlets, and I think that always needs to remain that way.
We're doing our part, Wes.
Jeff, it is 6:42 now. We're going to pause and take a quick little break, and we'll come back, and we've got some birthday shout-outs to give you, and know we've got some phone calls and some folks chiming in on social media there, so we'll do that, and we'll be right back here on Good Morning Live. Stay tuned. 6:42, 64 degrees.
Is your home ready for a fresh look? Fords in England can make it happen. From traditional to modern, special orders take only a couple of weeks. In fact, if your England special order isn't ready for delivery in 30 days, it's free at Ford's Furniture in Bowling Green and Glasgow. Did you know Ford's Furniture offers Power Assist lift chairs? We have a great selection available in a variety of colors and fabrics from petite to large for a perfect fit. And Ford's offers a hassle-free shopping experience and timely full-service delivery and setup from Ford's Furniture.
Glasgow Prescription Center is the culmination of my husband's professional career. When he took over GPC, he didn't want to be just good. He'd already done that. He wanted to be great. And I think his patients would agree that he's done just that. Could he get by with a smaller staff? Sure. The gift shop, the flower shop, delivery people, a brand new facility, none of those things are required to have a pharmacy, but that's why it's not just a good pharmacy, it's a great one. I'm really excited to see what Robert is going to do next because I know he's going to put his heart into it.
Field trip or church group, get your Ralphie on.
All right, and we're back to do the birthday list for today, and let's get our birthday music going. Jeff, tell us who's celebrating today.
Okay, Wes, we have some birthdays to celebrate. We have Wayne Van Dyke is 54 today. Michael Harris, 22. Barrett Depp is 5. Mary D. Carter, 100. Mary D. Carter, 100. Wow. Nadine Shirley, his birthday today. Sheila Glover is 59. Lillian Adair is celebrating her 14th birthday. We have Robert Whitty, Janet Rogan, Michael Kopis. Is that Orita
Michelle Kopis.
Excuse me, Michelle Kopis. Is that Orita Rhodes there?
Orita.
Orita Rhodes. That's a neat name.
It's a cool name.
That. Ann Hunter is 70. Mary Brantley is celebrating her birthday, and Darlene Combs.
All right.
We have an anniversary here, Wes.
That's right.
I'm going to tell you, Anna looks like Anita and Larry. Larry and Anita Houchins are celebrating 48 years of marriage. Now, you tell me that's not impressive.
Oh, that's great. 48 years. If you could stick it out that long, you're doing good.
48 years.
That, of course, we got that one off Facebook where we have some folks chiming in here. A lot of folks watching this morning, but want to say good morning to Roberta Houchin. Want to say good morning to Anita and Larry, and hope y'all have a great day. And we've got Donita Runyon, of course, chiming in, and Monica Frode says, good job, Jeff. So you got some fans there on the Facebook Live. They appreciate you embracing the social media movement, right?
There you go.
All right, so that's what we have, and we're patting on the back today by special request, Mary D. Carter, who is 100 years young today, feeling good out there, and we're going to go visit her a little bit later today. So be sure and wish her a happy Good as Gold day here on WCLU from all our friends at WCLU, and a little taste of Texas. And so Mary D's name will go into our Little Taste of Texas cowboy hat, and somebody on Friday will win the Little Taste of Texas free meal giveaway that we do each and every week here on WCLU. And we're going to pause now for just a couple of more seconds, and we're gonna do something that we couldn't do unless we had local newspapers. And we've had great ones all throughout our history. It's the archives. Sam Terry will join us next. Stay tuned.
TJ Sampson, providing TLC, Total Local Care, 24/7. My husband and I were both admitted to TJ Sampson. They were so good to us, and we will always go back to TJ, your local health care provider. Total Local Care, 24/7.
Hi, I'm Fred Parrish here at Parrish Carpet in Glasgow, Kentucky. My parents started this business over 50 years ago, so we know flooring here at Parrish Carpet. We have a large showroom and a big selection in stock. We do custom binding, and we do free estimates. We've served a lot of people in the 50-plus years, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you. So if you have a flooring need, come see us at Parrish Carpet.
Who will be the future face of Pettigo Lessenberry? Through expert analysis, we've confirmed their potential. With intense training, we've prepared them for any occurrence. We've taken their strengths and made them stronger. Now it's time to see what they're made of. Presenting the future face of ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Hello, I'm Jared Pursley.
And I'm Daniel Bird.
And we're more than prepared to serve you here at ISU Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance.
Growing with a proud community since 1902.
All right, 6:47 here on WCLU, and it's time for the archives. Sam Terry will join us on the line, as well as Jeff Jobe here in the studios today, and we will talk history. Of course, the archives are brought to you by Joseph A. Wade, because history is made by the hard work that stands the test of time, and by our good friends Kathy and the whole crew at Ametis Home Health. We're back after this on WCLU. 15,000 inventory items, custom brake hoses while you wait, cylinder repair. Is there anything Joseph A. Wade can't do? Well, one thing's for sure, Joseph A. Wade Incorporated serves a large community of people who believe there's no job they can't do, and that's the same attitude Joseph A. Wade has in their line of work. So for the smallest screws, Allen wrenches, or drill bits, or even a 5-stage hydraulic cylinder measuring 25 feet in length, Joseph A. Wade's motto, no problem. Joseph A. Wade Incorporated, 311 Industrial Drive, Glasgow.
Hello, I'm Kathy Murray. Did you know that some healthcare professionals still make house calls? Ametis Home Health is a group of compassionate professionals who deliver the best care to our patients in their homes. Whether you're recovering from a surgery or recuperating from an illness, our home health nurses, aides, and therapists can provide medication and treatment to you in your home. Ask your doctors if you qualify for home health care, or call Ametis Home Health Care at 270-651-7640.
We are back here on WCLU Good Morning Live, and I'm joined with our local historian, Sam Terry. You doing okay this morning, Sam?
Doing great. How are you all today?
Oh, we're doing good, enjoying this 64-degree weather, and I'm loving it so far. I know we're going to get some rain, but and then by the time it gets sunny, it's going to be a high of 35, so it's Kentucky weather. But Punxsutawney Phil says it may warm up soon.
Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, Jeff.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a dive into history, and we'll start with the year 1918. But before we do that, let's thank our friends at the South Central Kentucky Cultural Center who make this possible as they archive that with Gail Berry and Ray Green and the whole crew, and a special thanks to Sherry Wesley. And coming up this Saturday, there will be a program about the evolution of gospel music from slavery to the present day by Pastor Chris Curry of the Oak Grove Baptist Church, and music will be performed by the Liberty District Layman Choir. So that'll be a fantastic event, Sam. And
it will indeed, and I encourage people to go down there. I was fortunate to get to visit with Sherry Wesley for a few minutes yesterday, and she was sharing with me some of the things in that exhibit, and people really should go down there. We're fortunate to have that resource in our community.
I couldn't agree more, Sam. Let's start with the year 1918 as we go back 100 years in history, where in the Glasgow Republican on this day, it was Miss Mary Oliver who returned to her home at 88 after nursing our worst cases of flu and pneumonia in the community. We consider ourselves fortunate in securing Miss Oliver's aid, for she has certainly proved herself an efficient nurse. Mr. Ray Simmons returned home after being confined to his room 3 weeks with the flu. So that's the news out of the Republican. Folks getting sick and good folks taking care of them.
Well, and Miss Oliver really deserves a lot of recognition, because people who listen to the archives daily will recall that it was just a couple of months earlier that our schools were shut down and all public gatherings were stopped in Glasgow, and our public school building was turned into a hospital because we didn't have one at that time.
Sure. Only so many big buildings around.
She came to town and was taking care of all of these dozens and dozens of people who were in a makeshift hospital in the school.
That's amazing. It's amazing. But glad to have good facilities now. Evolution, if you will. This day in 1929, we have a picture to support this story, and it's an important meeting that was held on February 10th. Every member, and that was February 10th, 1929, every member of the First Presbyterian Church is urged to be present at the church at the above time. This meeting is called to decide about altering the present church building to accommodate the Sunday school and to increase the efficiency of their work. Please do not forget. And we have a picture of the Presbyterian Church there, which is, I'll let you tell the story, Sam.
Well, that photo is one that was made by our local German immigrant resident photographer Adolf Rapp, and that's the church as it originally looked, and looked for many years. It didn't have the vestibule on the front yet. That was not added until the 50s. And in the back, that building in the distance on the right was the county jail. And in between was the cemetery. And part of the thing that got people very excited about this expansion of the church to build an educational wing was the cemetery had to be moved. And,
wow! How did you do that?
That was the oldest cemetery in Glasgow, and had been created about the same time the church was organized in 1802. So our town's ancestors and founders were, in many cases, buried there, and those graves were moved to what's now the municipal cemetery and other places, so that building could be placed there. So if you drive by there on Broadway and you see the building right across from the fire department, that's what they're talking about building in 1929.
There's a whole lot more than what you would think was in this story, Sam.
That was a lot of work.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine having to do that to a cemetery. But it does have to be done. All right, this day in 1939, and thank you for that picture, Sam. This day in 1939, the Heistville 4-H Club met in the school building to reorganize for the year. The following officers were elected. The president was Joe Alexander, vice president Walter Davis Smith, secretary-treasurer was Emma Jean Harlow, and song and cheerleader was Louise Smith, reporter John H. Love, Jr. I recognize several of those names.
Yes, all of those folks did a lot of learning by doing, as the 4-H motto goes.
Mm-hmm. It's a good group of kids there. So, this day in 1949, we have more news from New Salem. And here's what we have. Mrs. E.M. Quigley of Elbow Springs and Mrs. J.L. Davis of Rocky Hill spent several days last week with Mr. and Mrs. Kenneth Quigley. Miss Ada Wells spent the weekend with her sister, Mrs. B.C. Wood, and family of Glasgow. So just a little report there of some folks having a good little homecoming there. Nice to hear. Any of those names stick out to you, Sam?
Well, they're all interrelated. Kenneth Quigley's beautiful bride was Martha Wood. Mm-hmm. Martha Wood Quigley, who passed away recently, and Mrs. Wood, the mother, was a Wells, and we also would remember that she had a son, Kenneth Wells Wood, who also passed away recently. Mm-hmm. And that family has done so much and contributed so much to the community over the years.
Good to remember them and their ancestry as well, too. let you kind of know where you come from. This day in 1959, it was Sewell C. Harlan was acclaimed the Glasgow Business and Professional Women's Club Boss of the Year at their annual Bosses Night program. The trophy was presented by Audrey Houchins. A surprise was the presentation by President Phil Wells of the Glasgow Chamber of Commerce Distinguished Service Award to Mrs. Ann Rogers, who was president of the BNPW Club back in 1959. So I guess that's how the men get involved is, hey, we're, celebrating our bosses. That was before women were bosses, too. So
well, at that time, and many will remember Ann Rogers as the head of nursing at T.J. Sampson Hospital for a very long time, and she was so active in the BNPW Club and other things that, Wes, when this news clip came out, the BNPW Club was only 4 years old.
Wow.
And that was organized in 1955 with Beulah Nunn as the first president, while her husband was serving as Barron County judge.
And I do believe for their 60th anniversary, several of the ladies came in and they talked. They just, they had a good time here with us at the station, coming in and doing some plugs to celebrate being a great compliment to what we have here in the community.
Absolutely. Still out there doing the work today. Still doing a good job. Still at it.
Absolutely. And they are recruiting new younger members too. And folks, the younger crowd, my age and younger, they need to get involved in that. It's a great group of women. You can learn a lot from them.
An outstanding organization, and not only are they working to empower younger women, they're also remembering those who came before them. A few years ago, the BNPW Club was the group that spearheaded the fundraising drive so that we have the historical marker for our aviatrix, Willa Brown, on our courthouse lawn. And we have the historical marker for Nettie Depp. And those two things would not be there had it not been for the BNPW Club said, this is important. We don't have a single historical marker in Barron County for a woman anywhere. And they did that.
Mm-hmm. That is good to note that, because that is one thing they got done that should have been done, and so I'm glad to see that happen. We have a quick story from the Glasgow Republican in 1969. Glasgow School Board hires new employees George Withers and Vivian Denton. I'm not familiar with those names, but I'm sure they were significant to the folks in the school system at that time.
They were indeed, and they can be found around, and their legacy continues on.
This day in 1979, John Broadbent is the new administrator of the Glasgow State ICF Hospital. So I'm guessing that's not a local name, Sam. Broadbent. Sounds like he came from abroad.
Sounds like it came from Western Kentucky.
That's right.
That's where the Broadbents are from, usually.
You would know that, Sam. You would know. That just amazes me, Sam, the wealth of knowledge you have. All right, we'll skip to 1989. This is out of the Glasgow Daily Times, an advertisement. Once upon a time, Happy Valley Shopping Center for formal wear service store will have their gala premiere on February the 11th. So kind of a preview of what you can have for prom and gala and things like that at Once Upon a Time.
You could have a interesting and entertaining conversation with Miss Marty Hurt about her business there, and all the many events that she coordinated, and she's still coordinating a lot of things.
We skip ahead to another. I'm going to do two here, Sam. Follow along if you don't care. I want to mention the advertisement about the state park, and then I'll also go into Mayor Honeycutt's story, unless you want me to hold off for tomorrow.
I think that's fine. Go right ahead.
Okay, so first off, we have an advertisement in the Daily Times this day 20 years ago where they're having a buffalo buffet at the Barron River State Park. That was the first one. And, of course, I've been there for that. I may have been there for that particular weekend. I think they did it on Thursday nights, actually, but that was delicious. But it's something new for you to try. And they do a good job out there at the Driftwood Restaurant for that. And we also want to mention that it was this day in 1999 where Mayor Charlie B. Honeycutt tells the Rotary outlook for the city is bright, $18 million in revenue and the budget of $15 million in expenditures. Balancing the budget pretty good there. And 20 years ago. Has it been 20 years ago, Sam? That just sounds like it couldn't have been that long ago, but it really was. That's why we do the archives. We'll wrap it up with a story from the Barron County Progress that was published this day 10 years ago in 2009. Ralphie May performs his comedy act to the near sold-out audience at the Plaza Theater. Ralphie May, the comedian. A well-known comedian, too. So that's what we have. And being by myself, Sam, I didn't get to play this song. The archive song. I forgot. We're going to play it here at the tail end, Sam. Thank you for joining me this morning, and thank you for all of your well-researched information of our history. We certainly do appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, and you gentlemen have a great day.
Have a nice day, Sam.
You do the same. All right, that's Sam Terry, local historian, and happy to have him here on the archives. We'll take a quick break and come back and get caught up on a few things, weather, birthdays, trivia. We got a lot. Get your thinking cap on, and we'll be right back here on Good Morning Live.
This is Bart Warren from the South Green Street Church of Christ. I invite you to live today in light of this. John said, I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away, and the sea was no more. And I saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, Behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them, and they will be his people. And God himself will be with them as their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain any more, for the former things have passed away. Revelation 21, 1-4, the Word of God.
Let me ask you something. What do you see when you look at your home and your car? Do you see a bundle, a combo deal? That's how other insurance companies see them. But a State Farm agent sees so much more, because a State Farm agent sees your home and your car as more than just four walls and four wheels. They see the things you've worked really hard for. So why not give them the protection they deserve? Call State Farm agent Mike Bryant in Glasgow at 270-651-3608.
Why do you choose the pharmacy you use? Is it because of someone you know, or is it short wait times? Highland Pharmacy has considered all of these things that make your experience at the pharmacy pleasant. With a top-notch staff of pharmacists and techs you know and trust, 2 drive-through windows, and a commitment to not making you sit and wait any longer than necessary, you can see why so many choose Highland Pharmacy, and we invite you to come see us for your next prescription. Highland Pharmacy, just over from the TJ Health Pavilion, 301 Rogers Road. Call 270-629-4300.
This public service announcement is an effort by Southern Kentucky Collision to make you aware of a dangerous time of the year, deer season. Every year from September to February, deer become a hazard to travel in this area. At Southern Kentucky Collision, we want to share with you what we've learned from the many customers who've chosen us to repair the damage. First, be especially wary at sunrise and sunset. Heed the warning signs that alert you to deer crossings. Be especially cautious on back roads that are less traveled, and always drive at safe speeds to maintain control if you hit a deer. In the unfortunate event of a collision, stop by and relax in Southern Kentucky Collision's clean, spacious lobby on Industrial Drive in Glasgow while we prepare a free estimate. Our work is backed by a lifetime guarantee, and it's the extras that make us better, with car rental assistance, transportation to and from work and home available, and all vehicles receive an interior-exterior cleaning. Please be careful this season, and if you need us, we're here for you at Southern Kentucky Collision, 203 Industrial Drive in Glasgow.
We are at 64 degrees here in downtown Glasgow, here at the top of the 7 o'clock hour. This weather update brought to you by South Central Bank.
South Central Bank is your first choice for banking solutions. Want to know more? Just listen to Owen Lambert at South Central Bank in Glasgow.
I've been involved in the financial services industry for 38 years. Our goal at South Central Bank, customer service and the customer's needs ahead of things, and we'll take as much time as it takes and spare no effort to make sure that we deliver on that kind of promise. And I think that sets us apart. What we do is we create unique, custom-made customer solutions where no two have to be exactly the same. We want unique experiences. We want every customer to feel special, to feel wanted, and more than anything, to feel valuable.
South Central Bank with 29 convenient locations. Find them online at southcentralbank.com.
South Central Bank, small enough to know you, big enough to help.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Springtime showers, even a few thunderstorms in the forecast, and some steady rain. Some of us under flash flood watches. Temperatures are absolutely ridiculous this morning. Average lows should be in the upper 20s. Take a look at the car thermometer. Some 5s, some 6s. Yeah, very mild morning and a very mild afternoon. Even milder by tomorrow. And then much colder, sharply colder by Friday. So don't put away those winter jackets just yet. Remember, it's only early February. Let's go 66 this afternoon. A few showers, maybe a thunderstorm this morning, then some steady rain this afternoon with some locally heavy downpours, an inch or two of rain in some spots. And those under the flash flood watch means that we could see some ponding of the water on the roadways and maybe some flooding in some spots. Showers and thunderstorms are likely tonight, 61. Thunderstorms are likely tomorrow, gusty southwest breeze, 70 degrees, but then the front rips through. And by Friday morning, the low temperatures are going to be in the low 20s. Sunny and mid-30s for Friday afternoon. Low and mid-40s with a chance of rain again by the tail end of the weekend. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. Right now it is 64 degrees. Take a look at that constant coverage in-studio radar screen. That system that you can see there, that is moving southeast. It's coming our way, so be sure to plan ahead for today as we continue with our morning show and throughout the day. Expect quite a bit of rain over the next 2 days, but enjoy some warmer temperatures that we have here in the area. Jeff, tell us our current conditions.
Right now, Wes, the humidity is 96%. Winds are south, gusting up to 10 miles per hour. Rainfall is 0.12 of an inch in the last 24 hours, and the barometer is 29.92.
All right, that gets us caught up on the weather forecast, and we'll pause right now for just a moment. And when we come back, Jeff will ask you the trivia question for this morning. Get your thinking cap ready. Get your speed dial going to 270-651-9149. We'll be right back after this on WCLU.
Lesenberry Do-It Center is Glasgow's only locally owned hardware store, and that means a lot to me. Lesenberry's has been in business for over 100 years. I walk in the store, they know who I am, and I get the help that I need. For me, Lesenberry's is the easiest place for me to shop, simply because it's a local family-owned business, and I feel comfortable when I'm there. And I'm glad there's still a place like that in Glasgow I can go to.
Extreme Prosthetics understands that when it comes to comfort and function, not all prosthetic devices are made the same. A properly fitted prosthesis can allow you to walk naturally without daily pain and discomfort. Extreme Prosthetics works with your physician and insurance company to help you get the comfort and function you deserve. Don't let your current discomfort and lack of mobility discourage you. Call the experts at Extreme Prosthetics today for a better, more comfortable life.
Life at the top is worth the climb.
All right, who wants to win some Little Caesars pizza? That's right, trivia in 30 seconds.
We want pretzel crust! We want
Pretzel Crust fans, rejoice because it's back by popular demand. Little Caesars large, soft pretzel crust pizza featuring a creamy cheddar cheese sauce, pepperoni, and a 4-cheese blend surrounded by a delicious salted soft pretzel crust for just $6. Hot and ready every day between 4 and 8 and only $6 from the home of pretzel crust pizza, Little Caesars.
Pizza. At participating locations plus tax.
All right, who's ready for trivia? Let's get those touch tones rolling here. The number to call is 270-651-9149. That's 270-651-9149. Jeff, ask us the question there.
Okay, the name of the candy, M&M's, stands for what?
270-651-9149. We're talking about candy today. Again, the name of the candy, M&M's, stands for what? 270-651-9149 or 1-800-956-1023. We'll take our first caller now.
Good morning, Trivia.
Mars and Murray.
That is correct. Who am I speaking with?
Anthony Bennett.
Hey, Anthony, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing good, You knew that right off the bat, didn't have to look it up. So
No, sir.
I hope you
How did you know that, Anthony? How'd you know something like that?
Well, if you want to know the truth, I was in town in Edmonton the other day, and there was an older guy sitting there talking to some young kids. And he said, M&M's, do you like them? And they said, yeah. He said, you know what it stands for? Of course, they were 8, 9-year-olds. He said, no. He said, Mars and Murray. If he hadn't have said it, I never knew it myself.
Funny. That's great. That is great. Well, it's good. You're a good listener, and so it paid off. We're going to send you to Little Caesars. Come by and see us here at the radio station, 229 West Main. We've got you on the winners list for today. Anthony, thanks for listening to WCLU.
Yes, sir.
All right, you have a fabulous day, sir.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it's like just the other day he heard the answer.
It was quick, and he's right on it. He's on the draw, man.
First caller. I love it. That's great because we're 12 minutes behind on the schedule. We'll be right back with the news you depend on and more with Jeff Jobe, my guest host here on Good Morning Live. Stay tuned.
Barron County Business Supply. For all your home office, business, and school supply needs. They've just received another truckload of high-quality scratch and dent furniture at incredible savings. Chairs, desks, cabinets, more savings and more selection from Barron County Business Supply. Free next-day delivery to anywhere in South Central Kentucky. There's several ways to place your order. Visit their website online at bcbsupply.com. Call toll-free at 1-866-9-BARRON. Barron County Business Supply. The area's #1 supplier of office products.
CBS News Special Report. President Trump stuck to the script in his State of the Union address, touching on everything from political unity to a border wall. CBS's Kenneth Craig.
With the threat of another government shutdown looming, Mr. Trump pressed for more funding for border security.
Simply put, walls work and walls save lives.
Stacey Abrams, who lost the race for Georgia governor last year, delivered the official Democratic rebuttal.
America is made stronger by the presence of immigrants, not walls.
Abrams on the government shutdown.
Making livelihoods of our federal workers a pawn for political games is a disgrace.
Republican Senator Lindsey Graham applauds the president's announcement about a second summit with North Korea's Kim Jong-un on the 27th.
To those people who are criticizing the president, how well did you do with Rocket Man? So, yeah, I'm very hopeful that one meeting, this new meeting, will lead to a breakthrough.
CBS News Special Report. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
The Royce Radio Family. WCLU, 1490 Glasgow. WCLU FM, 102.3 Munfordville, Glasgow. And W276DO, 103.1 Glasgow.
Insurance is all about families. That's true when you think about it. From insuring your home, your car, to the farm that provides for the family. Or that family business that continues thurrough generations. I'm Jared Pursley with Pettigo Lessenberry Insurance. Don't you mean ISU Pettigo Lessenberry? Okay, Daniel, you always have to be right. I'm Daniel Bird here at ISU Pettigo Lessenberry, and what we're trying to say is that everything we do is for our families. So if you're looking for agents you can trust, agents who know where you're coming from, then we'd be honored to serve you and your family's best interest. Call us today at 270-651-8837.
I've always been a talker. I love to laugh, but I was wearing dentures, and I felt uncomfortable because of being young. My 50th birthday gift for my husband, I wanted to get implants.
That's C.J. Elliott, another satisfied patient of Dr. Jim Thurman in dental implants.
The way they treat you, it was sort of like a family, and it was like, this is what I want.
And of course, C.J. had done her research on the subject and Dr. Thurman.
When I went to another dentist, and he recommended Thurman. I love it. Well, I'm glad I got Dr. Thurman. I really am. People ask me all the time, what do you have? Who did it? And I tell them, Dr. Thurman.
And after having a full set of dental implants from Dr. Thurman, CJ has no regrets.
This was the best thing I ever did. And I would do it again if I had to. I would do it again.
So if you're in a similar situation, here's what CJ would say to you.
If you are wanting to get dental implants, that Dr. Thurman would be the man to go to.
To learn more, call the office of Dr. James Thurman at 651-5939.
A new year can often bring new challenges, but not when it comes to buying a vehicle at Bailey Gibson. At 306 Happy Valley Road, there will be no high-pressure haggling. Just an honest effort to help you find the car or truck you're searching for. No stress or fret at Bailey Gibson in 2019. All you have to do is enjoy your new ride and that new car smell.
Yum! That new car smell is the best. It's almost as good as chocolate.
306 Happy Valley Road in Glasgow, the home of Bailey Gibson Buick GMC.
Is your home ready for a fresh look? Fords in England can make it happen. From traditional to modern, special orders take only a couple of weeks. In fact, if your England special order isn't ready for delivery in 30 days, it's free at Ford's Furniture in Bowling Green and Glasgow. Did you know Ford's Furniture offers power assist lift chairs? We have a great selection available in a variety of colors and fabrics from petite to large for a perfect fit. And Ford's offers a hassle-free shopping experience and timely full-service delivery and setup from Ford's Furniture.
For WCLU Local News, I'm Wes Royce. A Glasgow woman was arrested after telling police she thought someone had shot at her, followed her, and bugged her house. After officers noticed she was intoxicated, they did place her under arrest. The call was responded to at TJ Sampson ER because that's where Melissa A. Jewell, 37 of Glasgow, went to call the police and tell them she was being followed. She said she had previously believed she'd been shot at. Then she went to Little Caesars to get food, and that's when she believed that same individual was following her. Once the arrest was made, Jewell handed them a baggie that contained either bath salts or meth. Jewell was charged with possession of a controlled substance first degree and public intoxication. Yesterday, the Warren County Sheriff's Office responded to a single-vehicle collision. Deputies located an 01 Toyota in a field in the 3700 block of Richardsville Road. The driver, 32-year-old Kevin Massey of Franklin, stated he entered a sharp curve and began hydroplaning, exited the roadway, and ran through a wire fence before coming to a final rest in the field. Massey was wearing his seatbelt at the time of the collision. He was transported by EMS for non-life-threatening injury sustained in the collision. Massey was cited for operating on a suspended license, expired registration, and no insurance. Deputies were assisted by the Richardsville Volunteer Fire Department. Also on Monday, Scottsville Police Department received a complaint from a female who resides in Bowling Green, Kentucky, of a scam. The victim said she received a call from the Scottsville Police Department non-emergency number. She stated the caller gave the name of a Scottsville police officer and said they had a warrant on file for her, and that if she would send cash, they could have the warrant recalled and she would not be arrested. The police imposter then advised her it would be better to obtain 3 gift cards valued at $500 each. The imposter stayed on the phone until the female victim drove to Scottsville and obtained the gift cards. The police imposter then had her to scratch off the card and give him the redeeming number on the back of each of the gift cards. The police imposter kept the victim on the phone for approximately 2 hours and had her mail the gift cards to 1500 Pennsylvania Avenue. This elderly victim followed the instructions and then called the number back. After the police imposter ended the call, of course, she got the Scottsville Police Department, who broke the news to her that it was a scam. Officers were able to get the gift cards stopped, and she will be receiving a refund that could take up to 30 days. The Scottsville Police Department warns that they will never call you and ask for money if they have a warrant for your arrest. Never give any personal information out over the phone. Kentucky's estimated unfunded liability for its retirement system makes up nearly 80% of the Commonwealth's total debt for the fiscal year of 2018. That's according to a new data bulletin on debt service released yesterday by Auditor Mike Harmon. Of the $54.6 billion in total debt Kentucky had during the fiscal year 2018, an estimated $43.3 billion of that was due to the unfunded pension and other post-employment benefit liabilities. The $54.6 billion in total debt equates to a burden of over $12,000 for every person in the state of Kentucky. The state also has quite a bit of bonded debt. Of the $9 billion in appropriation-supported debt, Auditor Harmon found the largest amounts of debt are the State Properties and Buildings Commission, which has $3.85 billion in outstanding bonds for capital construction projects and financing projects approved by the General Assembly, and $1.81 billion in appropriation-supported debt due to Kentucky's public universities. In the bulletin, Auditor Harmon points out that KEDFA has no limits on the amount of bonded debt it can issue, and it's not required to get legislative approval. This is WCLU News.
From the Kentucky News Network, I'm Jaleesa Chapman. Kentucky lawmakers are reacting to President Donald Trump's 2019 State of the Union address.
6th Congressional District Representative Andy Barr applauded President Trump's focus on solving big problems like national security and illegal immigration. A statement from Barr puts pressure on the Democrats in the House to adopt a spirit of cooperation and compromise to solve the problems facing our nation. Kentucky's lone Democrat in Washington, John Yarmouth, says the president disrupts the unity between the American people with every statement, act, and tweet. I'm Will Clark.
The executive director of Substance Abuse Treatment Center, Christ-Ellis House, accompanied U.S. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell to last night's State of the Union.
Lisa Minton is leading on the front lines of Kentucky's battle against opioid abuse. She runs the Christ-Ellis House, a treatment facility for pregnant and new mothers fighting addiction in Lexington.
McConnell worked with Minton in 2017 to secure a $2.6 million grant to expand the Christ-Ellis House's services. A Kentucky paramedic is seriously injured in a Tuesday night crash. It happened around 8 in Cynthiana. Sheriff's deputies said the driver couldn't see well because of dense fog. A female paramedic who was unrestrained while working on a patient suffered multiple broken ribs and several lacerations throughout the body in the accident. The ambulance was totaled as a result of the crash. And Kentucky officials have some unusual surplus property that's being made available for sale. 4 bison from Big Bone Lick State Historic Site in Boone County. The Kentucky Department of Parks is accepting bids for the bison, which include a 4-year-old cow and 3 bulls, each younger than a year old. Department spokesman Gil Lawson says the park has a small herd of bison and has to sell some each year. I'm Jaleesa Chapman.
This is the Kentucky News Network.
Let's turn to local sports in boys basketball and high school action. Last night it was the Scotties of Glasgow defeating Metcalfe County 66-58. Barron County defeats Russell County in overtime 58-47. Campbellsville wins big over Caverna 79-62, and it was Monroe County over Cumberland County 81-70. In another overtime match, Allen County Scottsville edges Edmonson County 55-53. It was South Warren defeating Warren East 71-59, and in overtime Greenwood gets the edge over Logan County 44-43. Warren Central big over Russellville 82-43. It was Owensboro defeating the Bowling Green Purples 73-65, and Franklin Simpson in a low-scoring game defeats Butler County 39-35. In girls basketball, the Lady Scotties fall to Metcalfe County by a score of 62-68. Barron County defeats Russell County big 68-49. Campbellsville defeats Caverna 53-40, and it was Monroe County beating Cumberland County last night 65-50. Also, Taylor County defeats Clinton County 54-47. South Warren over Warren East 71-58, and Warren Central with a 3-point victory over Todd Central 44-41, and is Russellville over University Heights 47-32. And that's a check of local sport.
Check out the great deals at Gilead Auto Group in Glasgow. Stretch your hard-earned tax refund further during Gilead's Tax Time Sale-a-thon. Save big on over 450 pre-owned vehicles, starting at $2,500 up to like new 2018 models. Plus, we have over 100 vehicles priced below $9,900. We work with over 20 lenders to get you the vehicle you need and deserve, no matter your credit situation. If car shopping makes you nervous, come to the home of legendary service.
America.
Back here on Good Morning Live with Wes Royce, yours truly, and my guest host, Jeff Jobe. And kind of after the news here, we had some commentary, if you will, that we wanted to interject for you, our listeners this morning. Jeff and I both in the media business. And if you see us covering a story that it seems like maybe we're trying to get to the bottom of something that doesn't seem big, it's because our businesses, they rely on advertising and on business. And so we want to see Glasgow not be stagnant. We want to see Glasgow grow the way that it has in many, many years. And so one of the things that we look at is our tax dollars and our economic development dollars. And Jeff, I'm just going to kind of let you talk.
The National Weather Service in Louisville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northeastern Logan County in south-central Kentucky, northwestern Simpson County in south-central Kentucky, southwestern Warren County in south-central Kentucky until 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. At 7:24 a.m. Central Standard Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near Russellville, moving east at 35 miles per hour. Expected hazards include 60 miles per hour wind gusts. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Expect damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Bowling Green, Memphis Junction, Auburn, Woodburn, Rockfield, Ridge Pond, Chandler's Chapel, South Union, Gasper, and Browning. Remain alert for a possible tornado. Tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms. If you spot a tornado, go at once into the basement or small central room in a sturdy structure. Intense thunderstorm lines can produce brief tornadoes and widespread significant wind damage. Although a tornado is not immediately likely, it is best to move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. The storm may cause serious injury and significant property damage.
All right, so that's the National Weather Service letting us know about some severe thunderstorm activity, and they're saying that this system, if you're watching on Channel 6, as you can see, it is severe, and it does have the possibility to produce tornadoes. So we will keep an eye on the weather. You do the same here. And back with Jeff Jobe. Jeff, we were talking before we got interrupted there about economic development. And we know that there may be some changes coming our way in the way that that IDEA is structured based on some of the research that you have done, Jeff, and of course the Barron County Progress has done.
Well, I see some good things that are happening, Wes. We're bringing everyone to the table. Looks like we're trying to reach out and bring a broader section of our community to the table, and with Mayor Armstrong and Judge Executive Hale. By the way, Judge Executive Hale has been trying to do something like this for quite a while, and it hasn't been going over too easy. He's been kind of hitting a brick wall on this. Mm-hmm. So I commend him for being patient, and I commend Mayor Armstrong for jumping right in there. My gosh, 2 feet right in the middle of this thing, jumping on it, and what we're seeing is more diversity. We're looking for a broader selection of people to bring them to the table, and we're looking for an idea to make this opportunity with Mr. Iacone choosing to retire. It's an opportunity for us now in our community to do something maybe a little different. So many times something that worked 10, 15 years ago, is not the same thing that works nowadays, and we need that. So I think that with this group, they're bringing a lot of experience, a lot of business successes, a lot of local government people in that room.
And open-minded, too.
Absolutely. And I think you can see every photo that I've had photographers there, and everyone that's covered these meetings come back and say they're serious about this. The look on their faces, they're listening to one another.
They care, too.
They do care. Absolutely they care. This is their communities. We all live here. We want what's best for Glasgow.
Those are not the stories that get the shares if it's just a boring story. But I know you had a piece in your publication entitled "Glasgow Has a Fighting Chance," and I would encourage folks to read that article if you have. It's still available.
It is. It's online. And it sometimes when I write things, Wes, it's perceived as controversial. But I honestly I do my best to try to pull us together.
Right.
And I think with that piece, I do think we have a fighting chance. I think we're heading in the right direction. Nothing against anyone. I'm not saying anyone has done anything wrong. I'm just saying what we're doing right now may work.
Right.
We don't know if it's going to work, Wes, until we get in it. We get out there and we look and see what's available. We look for an individual or a team to put together. And I think even what we think it's going on from now, I think there's evolution going on, and we're going to see these gentlemen that bring their strengths to the table. And I think there's ladies and gentlemen. There's a lady on there that's experienced on this committee. Bring her in there, and our team. We put someone in place. And then I think it might be time at that point, you never know. I think it might be time for those guys to step back. Let this guy lead. Oh, my gosh, the last thing we need to do is have those strong personalities trying to manage the guy they hired.
Right.
They need to get out of the way at that point and say, we're going to put you in the place. We're going to hire you to do this job. And then we're going to say, we're going to give you some goals. I think they should say, we're going to give you goals. And I've spoken with the judge and the mayor, and I think they're on line with so we're going to give you a responsibility, some goals, and expect you to go do that. And then, if you don't do that, then we're going to go find we're going to find someone else to do it.
That's exactly right.
Do it. And that's what it needs to be done. We cannot accept not moving forward. We're a beautiful community. We've got a lot to offer here in Glasgow.
We really do. That's one thing I was going to mention, Jeff. I mean, you look at what's going on 25 minutes down the road in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And they're at the point now where they're turning down jobs if they don't pay $20 an hour or something in that neighborhood. And so if we can get things going here, it's not just the industry that we're talking about, but it's new constructions. It's people who have a trade that can benefit from good economic leadership, and I think that's really, really what's at stake here in our near future as we enter into this turning point and the transition as Mr. Iacone retires.
I agree. I think that one of the things, if there is no one answer, Wes, I don't think there's one answer excuse me, to any of our problems or one answer to create opportunity for us all. I think what we need is everyone to step up to the plate. Everyone needs to bring their skills and their assets, their gifts to the table. We've got the downtown community. These business owners need to continue, they need to put into revitalizing downtown. It would sure be nice to have government, local officials to maybe think about putting some money or support. I'm not asking for anything, by the way. You know, I'm doing my stuff already.
That's fine.
But it would be nice. It would be nice to have some respect to some of these buildings on the square and around the square in the Heritage District. I think they call that
the downtown merchants, maybe
the historical district downtown.
Look at the improvement we've already made.
We are doing some good,
and
things.
It's going to get better.
You know what, Wes? Those are improvements being made by individuals. So we need to acknowledge that, and we need to thank them for that, and then we need to continue that. Also, tourism. Oh my gosh. You know, anyone that doesn't see the beauty of South Central Kentucky really needs to go live in some places like I have in building my career. I lived in 17 hours north, and it snowed 24 inches in the first night I was there. And when you get back to Kentucky, you see the beauty here, and it helps us. And that's why I know right now we're getting a lot of people moving here. We have a good cost of living.
Really, it really is the best.
It really is, and a lot of people are choosing to retire here.
Sure.
We need to kind of continue looking at that. Developers need to look at maybe some opportunities there. I don't know, maybe there's some way that the government can help them, help the small guys. If we help enough of these small people to do things for our community because they care, they want to do it the right way, then I think we'll see some growth.
I agree with you. If you're window shopping Glasgow and you see that going on, you can't have anything but good things to say. It's all part of the puzzle. And so, Jeff, I appreciate your expertise and your knowledge in this and joining me today on the show. We want to pause and take care of a couple of housekeeping things here. And when we come back, too, I want to talk about Tidbit News, and we'll talk a little bit about brewery, if you will. So I've got an interesting story for you in Tidbit News that will relate to what you're doing now. Okay, and we'll be back after this on WCLU.
Is your home ready for a fresh look? Fords in England can make it happen. From traditional to modern, special orders take only a couple of weeks. In fact, if your England special order isn't ready for delivery in 30 days, it's free at Ford's Furniture in Bowling Green and Glasgow. Did you know Ford's Furniture offers power assist lift chairs? We have a great selection available in a variety of colors and fabrics from petite to large for a perfect fit. And Ford's offers a hassle-free shopping experience and timely full-service delivery and setup from Ford's Furniture.
Glasgow prescription.
When was the last time you got your Ralphie on? What's getting your Ralphie on, you ask? When you're winning prizes and lighting up the store in the arcade, you're getting your Ralphie on. When you're dancing under the lights on roller skates, you've turned on your inner Ralphies. When you bring your coworkers to bowl in the business league, your office staff has clocked in on Ralphie's time. If you suffer from symptoms such as lack of fun, feeling bored, if you get frequent urges to act like it's your birthday, or if you're just not smiling enough, you need to go to Ralphie's. That's Ralphie's Fun Center in Glasgow. A great place for any party, event, field trip, or church group. Get your Ralphie on.
And we're back here. Let's take a look at our area birthdays for today. We've got guest host Jeff Jobe in the studio who's going to wish some folks a happy birthday. And why don't you do that, Jeff?
Okay, Wes, we got Wayne Van Dyke is celebrating his 54th birthday.
All right.
Michael Harris celebrating 22 years. Barrett Depp is 5 years old today. Mary D. Carter is 100. Nadine Shirley it's her birthday today, and Sheila Glover is celebrating 59 years. Lillian Adair is 14. Robert Whitty, Janet Rogan, Michelle Copus is Orita Rhodes. I love that name, Orita Rhodes.
Orita, love it.
Ann Hunter is 70 years old today. Mary Brantley and Darlene Combs is celebrating birthdays.
All right. Well, we're going to keep the live stream going. Want to be sure we pat on the back today Mary D. Carter, who's celebrating her 100th birthday today. Pat her on the back. Tell her she's good as gold from her friends at WCLU and a little taste of Texas. We'll not do music history today because we've got some really good tidbit news, some interesting stories, and it's good to have somebody like Jeff in the studio who's an intellectual and who understands a well-written article. We'll do that, and of course understands the fun side of it.
You'll get me in trouble there.
That's all right. That's all right. We'll take a quick break here, and we'll be right back. And right now it is 7:35, and We are at 64 degrees. Back on after this on Good Morning Live. Why do you choose the pharmacy you use? Is it because of someone you know, or is it short wait times? Highland Pharmacy has considered all of these things that make your experience at the pharmacy pleasant. With a top-notch staff of pharmacists and techs you know and trust, 2 drive-through windows, and a commitment to not making you sit and wait any longer than necessary, you can see why so many choose Highland Pharmacy, and we invite you to come see us for your next prescription. Highland Pharmacy, just over from the TJ Health Pavilion, 301 Rogers Road. Call 270-629-4300. Hack Whitty, Marita Whitty Lyle, David Whitty, Becky Lyle, names that have been trusted in this community for quality auto repairs for 46 years. Names you can continue to trust for many years to come. At Whitty's Complete Car Care, they specialize in all your car repair needs, including brakes, tune-ups, and diagnostics. And you won't believe their amazing tire prices. If you're ever in need of towing or unlocking service, Jeff is ready and waiting 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Whitty's Complete Car Care on Rogers Road in Glasgow, 46 years and counting.
If you hadn't been to Colton's Steakhouse and Grill, what are you waiting for? Okay, maybe you need a special reason. Well, here it is. Our sizzling signatures. There's the Hawaiian ribeye, marinated for 72 hours and topped with fresh grilled pineapple. Or how about our Del Rio ribeye, topped with melted ancho chipotle butter and crispy onion tanglers. Both these mouthwatering sizzling signature ribeyes are available right now. Colton's Steakhouse and Grill, where we know what's at stake.
Colton's Steakhouse, now open in Bardstown.
And Southern States brings you this weather update right here on From the Weather Channel. It's Ray Stachik.
The Weather Channel brings you the latest forecast. Sponsored by Southern States in Glasgow.
Do you know who your new Purina dealer in Barron County is? It's Southern States Glasgow Cooperative. Yes, Southern States now stocks Purina bag feeds, chicken, pigs, cows, and horses. Check with Frank or any of the friendly Southern States staff. Stock up on muck boots for the whole family and save 10% off. Men's, women's, boys, and girls muck boots in the latest styles. And as the weather cools down, check with Jimmy at Southern States to learn about ventless propane heaters from 10,000 to 30,000 BTUs. The staff at Southern States is ready to help you year-round in every way. 300 Sampson Street, Glasgow.
Springtime showers, even a few thunderstorms in the forecast, and some steady rain, some of us under flash flood watches. Let's go 66 this afternoon. A few showers, maybe a thunderstorm this morning, then some steady rain this afternoon with some locally heavy downpours, an inch or two of rain in some spots. Showers and thunderstorms are likely tonight, 61. Thunderstorms are likely tomorrow, gusty southwest breeze, 70 degrees, but then the front rips through, and by Friday morning, the low temperatures are going to be in the low 20s. I'm meteorologist Ray Stachik, a Weather Channel on WCLU, your home for local.
Thank you, Ray. And currently 64 degrees. If you're watching on Channel 6 or on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube or WCLUradio.com, you can see that we have quite a bit of rain headed our way as the National Weather Service interrupted our broadcast a minute ago to let you know some of this storm activity does have the possibility of producing a tornado. So be aware of that and keep your eyes on that. And right now we're going to pause one more time before we come back and do Tidbit News with my guest host, Mr. Jeff Jobe, in the studio from Jobe Publishing. And we'll do that here in about 90 seconds. Stay tuned.
Money may not grow on trees, but it does grow at Citizens First. Hi, I'm Dana Chapman, branch manager at our Glasgow Southgate branch. We have a checking account at Citizens First that earns you real interest on your money, more than most CDs. Our Platinum Plus checking account. Our staff makes moving your account to Citizens First simple and seamless by helping you through the process. We're committed to a brighter future for both you and our community. Citizens First, the best choice for the best checking accounts. Stop by today to open your Platinum Plus account. Member FDIC.
Are you looking for a new career or maybe just part-time work? Ahead Staffing in Glasgow and Bowling Green can help make that happen. They're now taking applications for immediate job openings in the manufacturing and food production industry with competitive pay and benefits. The job market is in high demand for new employees, so whether you're looking for a full-time or part-time job, go see Ahead Staffing in Glasgow or Bowling Green and get started on a path to your own fulfilling career. You must be able to pass a drug test and you will be subject to a background check. Call 270-904-3777 in Bowling Green or in Glasgow, call 270-361-5119 to learn more. Or you can always go to aheadstaffingbg.com. With so many opportunities available, see why Ahead Staffing is the place so many in Southern Kentucky have chosen to help find the right job for them. And don't forget to visit aheadstaffingbg.com.
here's the latest news.
From around the globe and up the street, it is news of the tidbit variety, joined with guest host today, Jeff Jobe. Jeff, this is what we do. We kind of we find odd stories from around the globe. This one comes to us from UPI.com.
Okay.
Archaeologists have made an incredibly exciting discovery while working on a project to widen a major road, evidence of what is believed to be the first beer brewed in the United Kingdom. The team working along the A14 between Cambridge and Huntington said tiny fragments of charred residue from the beer-making process were found in the excavated earth. The experts believe that the Iron Age brew could date back as far as 400 BC.
Oh, my gosh.
That's an old brew.
That is an old brew.
And Laura Gonzalez is one of about 250 archaeologists on the Mola Headland Infrastructure Project who actually made the find. And she says, I knew when I looked at these tiny fragments under the microscope that I had something special. The microstructure of these remains had clearly changed through the fermentation process, and air bubbles typical of those formed in the boiling and mashing process of brewing. It was pretty obvious that she had found something pretty neat here. So you know about this process is you opened Glasgow's first ever microbrewery here on the square in Glasgow at Yancey's. And so can you imagine finding something like this 400 BC?
I can't even begin to imagine something like that. That's amazing.
And of course, you can attest to some of the science that she's talking about. What made you want to get into the microbrewery business?
Honestly, Wes, I took it just kind of came upon me because it wasn't the original plan. Didn't put a lot of thought into it. Dropped my daughters off at college about a year ago, and that long drive back. Any parent out there, the empty nester guys and moms and dads, there's empty nest dads out there too.
That's
Wes.
right.
You know that, just so you know that.
Okay.
And
I don't look forward to that day.
That drive home was quite lonely, and earlier that day we'd had dinner, and I was at a place called Hopcats in Lexington, and I said to my daughters, I said, this is a beautiful building. Look just how they fixed this up, and look at downtown. I said, our square is just as beautiful. South Central Kentucky, the squares of our communities could be just this as beautiful as this. And they rolled their eyes at me, and I'm like, what was that? And they're like, Daddy, you know how many times you have said that? And McKenna says, just go do it, Dad.
Just go do it.
Just go do it.
That's right.
And I just said, well, maybe I will. Mm-hmm. And on the way home, I
challenge
thought,
accepted.
Absolutely. Right? On the way home, I got on the phone, called a friend of mine, and Dwayne Pierce, and I said, Dwayne, I might be looking for a property. Can you help me look around for a warehouse or something? And before I got back to Glasgow, he had a couple things lined up for me to look at. That afternoon, first place I walked in, saw this building, and Wes, I just fell in love with it. It's a beautiful building, and the people that owned it had started a lot of process. The Shogun gentleman that owns it, I can't think of his name right now, but he's a fine fella, and he had started doing a lot of demolition, exposing some of the brick walls and the beams and the beauty of that building. And I think friends at Bott's Construction had done some of that work for him, and I walked in, I could see what they were getting to. So I took the building and started renovating the building. I was going to look at doing and just maybe renting it out. And I put the word out a little bit, didn't have a lot of takers on it, looking just to rent it out. I thought maybe I'd rent it out downstairs.
It's a crazy idea because it's never been done here.
And that's exactly right. And I couldn't take any takers, so I started looking to it. Found out that a good friend of mine was helping do the construction, Johnny Bowles in town here, just a good friend, knows everything about any kind of construction thing. He knows that stuff. And he was there helping me do it. And he says, that your electrician guy over there is working with electrician. He's a brewmaster. He brews it.
Right.
And I thought, Johnny, let me explain something to you. I'm not going to hire some yahoo, and my friend from Edmonton, I just so you know, he's from Edmonton. I got a newspaper now, and I love Edmonton.
Yeah.
But I said, I'm not hiring some yahoo from Edmonton to come over here and brew beer and don't know what the heck he's doing. And he said, well, it wouldn't hurt to give it a try.
Yeah.
And I did, and I took it home. I didn't want to taste it in front of him because I thought, man, I'm not going to like this. Took it home, and this young man, Chris Landon, knows exactly what he's been doing it from his back porch. Wes, been doing it on his back porch for about 12 years. And knows what he's doing. He listens. He's a nice guy, and this is a dream for him. I'm a business guy. I'm putting good people together, and I got good construction people together to make that building look nice. And I got I'm trying to get the menu figured out, getting some people that
Food's
like
good.
to do that. Thank you, Wes.
Food is good.
Thank you. We're trying. We make mistakes every single weekend. We mess up something, but you know what? We try not to make that mistake twice.
If you're dating, it's a good place to take somebody too.
Well, there you go.
Which leads me to my next story.
And I'll
here.
do personal service on that. I'll make sure I welcome everybody. I like being there and thanking everybody for coming in.
All right, so here's what I have, Jeff. This is the next story. I don't know what to think about it. Just tune in, okay?
Okay.
And by the way, we don't prep for this.
I'm a little nervous about what Wes is throwing at me.
It says single men tend to have stronger body odor than their coupled counterparts, according to a new study. And it may actually work in their favor. Building off of prior research that found single men have higher testosterone levels, researchers recruited men to work up a sweat and had women then sniff the armpit of their T-shirts to see if there were detectable differences in smell. In the new study published in the journal Frontiers in Psychology, researchers from Macquarie University set out to determine if single and partner men smell different based on their differing testosterone levels. To do this, check this out. They had 82 heterosexual women rate the body odor and faces of men between the ages of 18 and 35. Men were first tasked to work up a sweat, which for me is no problem. Then the armpit section of their T-shirt was cut out and given to the women to smell and rate. And according to this study, consistent with the hypothesis, single men's BO smelled stronger than partnered men's BO, and single men's faces were rated as more masculine than partnered men's faces. What do you think about that?
Well, first of all, I'm 55 years old. I was thinking you're not going to be talking about a 50-year-old there. Surely not. So when you said to 35, I'm thinking back when I was single, and to my married friends' counterparts, I'm thinking it might be because their wives had them shower more, and I could just see. Back when you're single, Wes, I'm sure we were certainly clean fellas, but
sure,
we might go to the gym, or we go somewhere and or stay a little later at work and then walk right straight from work into maybe having dinner or our evening activities or something like that.
Yeah.
Many times, there wasn't that break in there, so I think it might have something to do with that. That them good women out there, they're making them fellas smell nicer is what it is. What I'm thinking.
There may be something to it, and it's been published in an academic journal, so credible, I guess you could say.
We'll see.
Or at least hypothetical. Keep it with the single theme here. A Lithuanian developer's Tinder-inspired app uses a similar swiping-based method to foster connections between people and dogs. This is neat. It's Tinder for pets.
That's neat. I think that anything you can do to help find these pets home is pretty amazing. So I think
it's called Get Pet.
I think it's a great idea. You got that. I know that we run every Christmas for Bravo. We for 10 years, or I think 12 years, we've been running full page of or big sections of our newspaper of actual photos of puppies and cats down at the Bravo, and I'm real proud of that. I mean, they've moved 300 or so of those around Christmas. They don't like to say it's a Christmas present, and I understand that because this is a life investment here. You're putting something into caring for a living an animal, something you're going to, it's more than just a gift, and it needs to be a decision to bring someone into your family. So it's like an adoption kind of thing. So I understand that. So I got to be careful when I'm promoting it for them. Sometimes wanting to do something nice for someone, you could hurt them. And the last thing I want to do is, have 100 people go down there and want a puppy, and then 3 days after Christmas think, why'd I get that puppy kind of thing.
It does happen.
But
it does
I
happen.
think that's a neat idea. You can look at your
pet.
It's
called Get Pet.
I would imagine that's going to be a lot of turnover, maybe more so than maybe if you and I were on a Tinder. We'd probably be on there a little longer. Then pets would probably find a home faster.
Can you date the dog is my question.
Well,
can you go and see the dog? Okay, and then...
A lot of turnover with that, I think.
I don't know. Is there a second date rating? I don't know. Check it out. It's called Get Pet. I'm going to pause for 30 seconds and get ready for this next one. It's a sports-related story and a gambling-related story. Gambling's getting ready to be huge if it's not already. So we'll do that here in just a moment. Stay tuned to Good Morning Live.
The new Hardee's is now open in Glasgow. Normally, when someone moves into the neighborhood, you welcome them, preferably with biscuits. But we already make biscuits from scratch, hand-breaded chicken tenders, and 100% Angus beef thick burgers. So don't you go welcoming us. We can welcome ourselves and shake our own hands. But that doesn't mean if you visit us, we won't welcome you. And welcoming you with welcome biscuits is all we need to welcome ourselves ourselves. Got it? Good. Welcome to the neighborhood. Us. Next to Glasgow High School on Columbia Avenue. Hardee's, because it tastes better. Now open.
Final story here on Tidbit News. Check this out. I'm just going to kind of start reading this. But to preface this, the other night, it was Iowa State and Oklahoma. The spread was +3 Oklahoma. So, in other words, the spread was 3. If Oklahoma gets beat by less than 3 points and you bet Oklahoma, you win the bet. You win the wager. So the author of this article, he comes out right away and he says, I want to start by being clear. I had no money on the Iowa State-Oklahoma game. The outcome didn't affect me one bit, but having said that, I find it incredibly disturbing and unacceptable as a gambler. For those who may not know, Iowa State was leading by 4 with just a couple of seconds to go when Oklahoma came down and hit a meaningless three-pointer. Wow. So it went from +3 to it went from a 4-point game to a 1-point game. Iowa State was a 2.5-point or 3-point favorite, depending on where you were booking it. The shot by Oklahoma didn't change the outcome of the game, but it changed the outcome of all the bets, including the over-under, which is the total number of points by both teams. And it says here, this may not matter to casual fans or non-bettors, but the reality is it does matter a lot. Professional leagues in the NCAA have already talked about wanting in on the gambling gold rush. We're talking about a college athletic institution wanting to get a piece of the gambling pie. They already want integrity fees, or they're making multi-million-dollar deals with casino operators to sell their data, and they form partnerships with the casino. Gamblers waged their hard-earned money on this game tonight, and the outcome for them was most definitely change, and nothing was done about it. Just because the winner of the game was not changed does not mean the outcome wasn't different for thousands of people. And you see it in horse racing all the time. You a fan of horse racing?
Absolutely, absolutely.
If a jockey on the 5th-place horse makes an inquiry against the 4th-place finisher and the winner of the race is not involved, the stewards will still review and make a determination. The person that stands to benefit by that decision is the holder of a superfecta ticket where you pick the 4 horses correctly in order. So the gambler drives the horse industry. The gambler or maybe it's the fantasy football player drives the industry. That's why football is so popular today. And they're talking about should we pay the athletes or not, you know? And a lot of people are getting paid, and these kids aren't. And I think it's an issue that we'll see in the very near future.
I think it is. I think that I'm fine with that. I think that these universities are making this kind of money on these things, and to help these kids and to remove that way it's right out there front. You put it out front, Wes. I mean, when I was at UK, University of Kentucky, and I love my alma mater, University of Kentucky. But if you wanted you just drive around the campus and look for big shiny, Mustang convertibles, and you're going to find the athletes there, and that's pretty much what it was. And I know that for a fact because my roommate was his dad owned a Ford dealership, you know. So and my friend he drove a Topaz, and on campus was a bright yellow Mustang convertible that one of the athletes, don't want to say his name. One of the athletes was driving in town. We don't want to get anybody in trouble there.
We got KSR coming up in an hour.
I mean, it was there and it happened. I saw it. I'm a small guy from Eastern Kentucky, and I saw it.
Yeah.
So it's there. It was there back then, and I would imagine to some degree there's some of that going on now. We know it, and we just need to kind of.
The shoe companies are getting involved, not through the universities as much as the AAU.
Yes.
But then the coaches find out about it, and it's their job to tell them what happened, what didn't happen. A lot of them are getting in trouble right now. But I think it brings up a point that because gambling is such a part of what drives the sports entertainment industry, maybe they need to take steps to maybe cut off some of this stuff. I don't know how you change the outcome of a game. I don't know how you do anything to police it, but it certainly brings to question, are we doing enough in sports, especially with college athletics, I found it when I first found out you could even bet on college athletics. Immediately a light bulb went off and says there might be something wrong with that. But apparently there's not. And so you see this going on time and time again.
I don't support making millionaires out of college athletes. I certainly don't think that, but their educations and the scholarships that they've been given, and then a good cost of living and a good quality of life. And then I think also some requirement to lower those college tuition costs for other students and regular students, because it's not just those players. It's those people that are going to it, and it's us, the fans, and it's the entire university. So anything you can do to actually lower the cost, for the people taking a chance in our educational system that are borrowing hundreds of thousands of dollars to take a chance on
and paying it off for 30 years.
Oh my gosh, a brighter future. That's all they want. They want an opportunity. So anything you can do to lessen that burden, and I'm all in. I'm saying we got to do it. And I don't want to get into big arguments about gambling and all that. If it's out there, it's legal, and it can help our people, then I don't have a problem with that. So
I just wanted your take on that, Jeff. So it's been a blast as we approach the top of the hour here. I want to thank Mr. Jeff Jobe for coming in today and being my guest host. You did a wonderful job, and appreciate all that you contribute to the community, and I think our listeners do too.
Thank you, Wes. I appreciate being here.
All right, you have a good day, and we'll be talking to you soon. Right now it's 7:56, 64 degrees in downtown Glasgow.
Good morning, friends. If you are a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ, can you explain why you believe? Do you know why you have the hope of salvation from this present evil age? Far too often, believers avoid conversations that are based on faith in Christ. The New Testament provides all the information that we need in order to give an answer to anyone who might ask concerning our faith in the Lord. In discussing our faith, we must always do so with gentleness and respect for those with whom we are speaking. We are to be the voice of Christ and to show forth the attitude of Christ in all aspects of life, especially when living among a society that's full of unbelief. If we're followers of the Lord Jesus, then we need to be able to tell why we believe on Him. And this belief must be based on the evidence found within His Word and not on some subjective feeling that we claim to have. Those inner feelings are vital to the Christian, and yet they must come from the knowledge of God's will and the fact that we are walking with Him according to His plan as revealed within the Bible. John said at 1 John 5:13 that the way we know we are saved is by what has been written and our obedience to such writing. Are you always ready with proof from the Bible as to why you have hope of eternal life? This is Danny White of the Refuge Church of Christ.
Whether you have a little boo-boo or a great big boo-boo, when it comes to your car, who fixes those problems really matters. Shaw's Body Shop in Glasgow is a well-established, reputable company capable of taking care of any size damage to your car. In fact, many major insurance carriers have Shaw's on their preferred repair shop list. What does that tell you? It tells you whether you have a little ding or a big bang.